Spider, good to see you.
Afternoon, how are we?
I am great. Tickety-boo. In our new studio, you didn't even know we had a new studio. You went downstairs to the bunker.
I was in the old studio alone.
How was that show? Was it good?
It was much better than this one.
How did you realise that you were in the wrong place?
Well, you weren't there, so I waited a minute or two and thought, okay, let's get upstairs because they've obviously revamped things.
No one told you.
Reignited the studio. I love it.
Are you good? You well?
I'm all good.
I've
had a little holiday in Ireland.
Where'd you go?
Went to West Cork, which I love.
Okay. Why? Why'd you go there for holiday?
Family sort of ties, lots of sort of rallies over there.
Yeah.
Really love it. Beautiful part of the world. Magical West Cork Island. Absolutely lovely. Then I'm off to Saudi this week and then into, I'm going to America next week. So yeah, jumping around.
Where are you going in America?
Cape Cod.
Where's that?
On the East Coast, just down from Boston. Beautiful, another beautiful part of the world.
Wow. Okay. Where's not beautiful? Where do you hate?
I love being in here. London in the middle of summer is
too hot. It's too hot. It's too hot, isn't it? Do you come in by train?
A tube and it.
It's too much. Too sticky.
I have to stand now.
I know.
Surely people let you.
No, because my leg can't bend. So if I put my leg out, I'm just blocking the aisles.
Have you seen what he's done?
What is it? What's happened?
I just cracked a patella. I slipped next to an apple and smashed kneecap.
Adam,
ouch!
Adam,
yeah.
He was eating a kebab.
Painful?
He was eating a kebab.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
all the
very.
juice fell out and he slipped on it. Right, there's only one place we can start, and that's with Moses Itauma against Dillian Whyte. It's live on talkSPORT this Saturday night. Dillian Whyte has won his last 3 fights and represents the toughest test this does in Itauma's career so far. Itauma has won all 12 of his fights, with 10 coming via knockout, whilst Dillian Whyte has just, 3 defeats from his 34 fights. I'm really excited about this one.
So am I.
Who is it more of a test for, do you think?
I'm really excited seeing Ed Huntley and Spencer Oliver already over there. Looking forward to getting the plane to Riyadh to join them. They do a lot of work, those boys. No, they do. And it would be great to join the sort of team, the party, live on DAZN Saturday night. Can't wait for it. Moses Itauma's biggest test so far. He's won all 12. He won every amateur fight. 10 stoppages so far in the pro ranks. He's blowing everyone away. What I love about him, guys, is the fact that all the other heavyweights talk so highly of him. And now's the sort of first real test, the first questions to be answered by Dillian Whyte, who, as we know, has been around for a long time. Gladiator, bit of a swashbuckling figure, goes in with anybody. Has defeats, of course, to Joshua, to Povetkin, and to Tyson Fury, where he never really got into that one. But if he gets into this and he looks in great shape, it could be interesting. But will he get past the first 3 or 4 rounds with Itauma's speed, his freshness, and his power?
So I've got to ask you the question, because you said it there. Itauma has been absolutely destroying people, right? But he hasn't, I don't think he's gone past 6 rounds yet. Now, the longer the fight goes on, do you then start to favour Dillian? Obviously, wild old fox, been around a long time, experience. Do you then start to favour him?
31 victories against some big names. He's got wins over Joseph Parker, over Derek Chisora, of course, as well. He has been inactive. We saw him in against Ebenezer Tete out in Gibraltar. He got the job done late last year, but wasn't that fast. Just looked like he needed rounds, and I wonder if that inactivity will be a problem. He's trained really hard for this. He looks in fantastic shape, Dillian, but he is 37 now. I think he's got to withstand the early storm. We know what Itauma's like. Counterpuncher, beautiful IQ. His feet are so good, and if he sees the opening, he'll go for it. But I think if Dillian survives that sort of first 4-5, then it starts to become fascinating. Let's see where Itauma goes from there, what he's like on the back foot when he's backed up. Will he get caught? If he does, how's he going to take it? I love the fact that your AJs, your Furies, your Okolis, your Joe Joyces, everybody, Usyk, are all talking about him in such high regard. Of course, we can get excited. He hasn't ever lost an amateur or pro fight. He looks the real deal to us, to Darren Barker, to Barry Jones, to me, when we watch him and commentate on him. But it's the real fighters that meet him in sparring, that have seen these things that he does, which makes me very excited about him.
Do you think you'll learn more about him, Itauma? Not if he, say he knocked Dillian out in 3 rounds, it's what he's been doing his whole career. But if he goes deep into the fight and say he wins really late into the fight, do you think you learn more from him doing that rather than him knocking Dillian out in the first 3?
It's an amazing statement if he gets rid of Whyte very quickly. Of course, Povetkin did it when he was down on the floor a couple of times. We remember at Matchroom HQ in 5 rounds, Tyson Fury in 6, and AJ, of course, in 7. So if he does it in 2 or 3, it's going to look fantastic. It's a great message to send to the other top heavyweights out in Riyadh in front of His Excellency, all of that. But I see what you're saying, Darren. If he does go rounds, which I think he also needs to at this stage, there has to be that experience. You can't buy that ring experience. No. And if he does get that and, say, wins late with a little bit of something going slightly askew during the fight, maybe 1 or 2 rounds he loses and he comes back to win, that'll also tell us something and we'll tick boxes. But for me, I think it's all about those first 9, 12 minutes. And if Itauma is explosive and gets him out of there, he's going to be knocking on the door for the world heavyweight title, and that's held by Usyk, and His Excellency wants to see that. I think that's too soon.
It's relatively early in Moses' career. He's only had 12 fights. So I sort of feel if he loses the fight, it doesn't really harm his career. For Dillian Whyte, if he loses, do you think that'll be the end of it?
Potentially. Dillian is the sort of guy, I spoke to him a few weeks back. He wants to fight everybody. He doesn't mind who he goes in the ring with. He's just a terrific stalwart of British boxing. He's been fantastic in great fights, and I think if he gets blown away, I think he'll have to look at it seriously. He's made money over the years. He's a sensible guy, and I think that he'll probably know, but don't count him out, because Dillian can punch. That left hook is dangerous. We haven't seen Moses in any sort of trouble, really, during those amateur and professional fights. So if he does get into trouble, how's he going to react? Because Dillian will fancy he'll be too experienced, too smart, too hardened for Itauma. But Frank Warren rarely gets it wrong in terms of matchmaking.
How you mentioned Turkey there, and if Moses wins this fight, Turkey wants to see Moses against Usyk.
Of course, and it's fascinating. And if you look at Usyk, Andy, it's Joe Parker, or maybe it's Ajit Kabayel, or is it someone like Moses Itauma? For me,
my question's going to be, my question was going to be, that will be his 13th fight this weekend, right?
Yep.
If you get offered stupid money to fight Usyk after just 13 fights, it's a very difficult juggling act, isn't it? On one hand, you don't want to take the fight too early. You might get absolutely pummeled.
He would buy Usyk.
But he would buy Usyk. But on the other hand, you can't, if it's crazy bonkers money, if you're looking after someone like Moses, what do you do? Do you go where the paycheck is, or do you say no to that paycheck to prolong that career and work your way up to becoming heavyweight champion?
It's going to go down to Frank Warren, Francis Warren, and Ben Davidson, some wise heads there getting them.
What would your advice be?
My advice would be just take a little bit longer, okay? There's no rush. He's 20 years old. We know Michael Benn, I think, won the WBO heavyweight title in his 13th fight. That was the WBO, lightly regarded at the time. AJ won in the 16th, but it was cleverly matched against Charles Martin. Alexander Usyk is the best fighter of our generation, full stop. Will Moses Itauma be the heir apparent in a couple of years? Quite potentially. But why I wouldn't put him in with Usyk yet? I think he should go to Usyk's training camp. I think he should learn with Usyk like he has done with Fury and Joshua. And I think he should be looking at the likes of a Martin Bakole, someone like that next, if he gets rid of Dillian Whyte. But let's not look past Saturday.
Just roughly, because I want to move on and we have to go to a break and we'll carry on boxing chat. But just roughly, how much will he be getting for the weekend's fight? Just
I'm not
roughly.
sure. I don't know.
Is it like 1 or 2 million, something like that?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay.
A few million.
So if he would offers 10 million for the Usyk fight, it's a hard amount of money to turn down, isn't it?
I think he will fancy it, Moses, and will want it now.
Yeah.
And I think that it comes down to the experience of Frank Warren to say, do they pull the trigger? And for me, if it was another champion, like a WBA holder, a WBC holder, and not Usyk, absolutely go for it. Usyk, I wouldn't.
Okay. We're going to move on. That fight live on...
Not yet.
Okay. That fight live on talkSPORT this weekend. Before we move on, we're going to go to, in a one word, how does the fight finish? Who wins it in the weekend, live on talkSPORT? He hates being pushed. Look at him.
Yeah. I'm calling the fight. It's hard, Andy. It's very difficult.
How do you see it? Who wins it? One word.
Itauma.
That's enough. Go to a break quickly. He said it. Goldstein, Darren, Benn, nasty Adam Smith here. Just asked me how much I'd take to get in the ring with Moses Itauma. I said 40 quid. Still to come, we'll be asking if the transfer window should be shut before the start of the season. Just quickly, a bit of breaking news. As with all transfers these days, it wasn't a secret. Jack Grealish has signed for Everton on a season-long loan with £50 million as a buyout clause. Grealish going to wear the number 18. He said, I spoke to Rooney before I came here. I mentioned to him, so I hope he will be happy. Rooney wore the 18 shirt at Everton, of course.
Nice.
What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's a good, massive signing for Everton.
That is huge, isn't it?
Yeah, I said it yesterday. It reminds me of the James Rodriguez, that type signing, big superstar.
Yeah.
But it's back to Jack now. World Cup year. Got a chance to go play some football.
First team football. Right, we're still joined in the studio by the voice of boxing, Adam Smith.
He's here!
He is here, yeah, thanks for that. Let's move on to a few more stories doing around in boxing. Let's start with the rematch, of course, between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. It's going to take place at the Spurs Stadium in November. Eubank, of course, beat Benn by unanimous decision in April. Despite no titles being on the line, a rematch was highly anticipated. It's divided opinion, the rematch. The first fight, I was there. I saw you actually after. It was one of the best fights I've seen for a long, long time. And I include the build-up to it. I include Chris Eubank's dad arriving on the day. I include the actual fight. I thought it was an explosive fight. A lot of people have questioned whether or not they want to see it again. I can't think of a reason why I wouldn't want to see it again. I thought it was brilliant the first time.
I thought it was brilliant too. Loved every minute of the build-up. Thought it was spicy, fantastic, compelling, storytelling at its greatest. And then, of course, the greatest twist when Senior walked in as well and the four were together. And not only that, after the first bell rang, they just gave us one of the best dust-ups for years in a British ring. And yeah, it may not be for a world title, but it was Eubank against Benn, and it was fabulous. And yeah, the two of them, there were the weight clauses, there was the hospitals afterwards. It was a tough fight. It was brutal. But I do think that we want to see it again. Look, the rematch with the fathers wasn't as good at Old Trafford in terms of they didn't engage as much. I think these two do. I think they just start off where they left off round 13. I think there'll be more twists and turns in the build-up to November. It's back at Tottenham, which is a fantastic stadium for boxing, and I think it will be a great fight. Why wouldn't we get excited about it?
Why? A lot has been made from the fact that it's not for a title. I think it's an incredibly weak argument because I think I might say the majority of boxing matches aren't for a title. So why is so much being made about this one not being for a title? I don't get that.
Some people say to me, well, it's unfair on fighters who want to become a world champion and the new, that sort of phrase that you maybe dream of when you're a kid. I get that argument, but it's entertainment, it's box office. And these two names, the history, the legacy, the fact they hate each other, the needle, and they didn't give us a bore. They gave us an absolute humdinger. So let's see it again. It's terrific. It doesn't matter whether there's a title on the line. We're going to be tuning in. We're going to be there.
Do you think any of them two will become eventually a world champion?
I think they both got the potential. Eubank, obviously, at the twilight end of his career, he's got to get a move on. Maybe he'll just fall short. Conor Benn, if he drops down in weight, yes, he's got the opportunities, but I think he's going to have revenge on his mind here. I think even though he lost that first fight, he's going to come out of that feeling as though he's done enough to give him a great chance second time round. For Eubank, he gutted it out down the stretch. I was really impressed with Chris that night in April, and he's got to do it all over again. Can he do it with the weight stipulations? I think it's fascinating.
Two fights to cram into the next 2 minutes. We have to talk about Canelo Alvarez against Terence Crawford. It's labelled as Fight of the Century.
Wow.
I mean, Bentley's been talking about this one.
Wow. Yeah, they've got a whole Ring magazine completely about that one fight. That shows
Are you going to that?
what a super fight it is. There is a fight that night as well in Belfast with Donovan and Crocker on DAZN too, so I'll be there, but of course...
You got the short straw for that?
We'll be tuning in. Listen, we all want to be in Vegas, don't we? Canelo,
It's
Crawford.
going to be great though, right?
It's a mega fight.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and Canelo is one of the greatest fighters of our generation, of course, a legend. And Terence Crawford, underrated for so long, multi-weight world champion. Can he do the impossible, step up and beat Canelo? I think he can.
I was about to say, do you think he wins it? And also, why is Crawford, like, he's a superstar, but he's not the superstar that he should be considering how good he is?
You know your stuff. Correct. He is a trade superstar. He's not known down the streets. And I hope this is the fight and the night that turns him into one. Canelo will have other ideas. Beating him in Vegas with a Mexican machismo and everything, the pride and all. Canelo will want this badly. But I just wonder with timing whether it's time for Terence Crawford.
I was going to ask you about that because quite often we see super fights and it's a little bit too late. They've missed their best. Where are these two in their career?
Well, there's an argument that maybe we've seen the best of Canelo, but still he is the undisputed champion. He is a force to be reckoned with. And Terence Crawford is getting on in age, but doesn't show any signs of decline. This is a fantastic fight, whenever they would have made it. But this is a great one for September. It is a super fight, and it's going to be a cracking build-up and a wonderful night in Vegas.
Last fight to talk about.
Yeah.
I have to talk about Jake Paul against AJ. Is this actually going to happen?
Possibly, yes.
It's nuts.
And there's silence in the studio.
I just can't believe that it will be allowed to happen.
Andy, I've been banging on for ages about Fury Joshua. Come on, let's have two of them in 2026. But the momentum seems to be moving towards this oddity with Jake Paul and AJ.
Insane, isn't it?
It is insane, but then boxing has at times been insane, and you never know. It's the most unpredictable of sports, and what the YouTubers have done. Jake Paul has put bums on seats. What he has done is he's brought the women in, which is fantastic, just signing Terry Harper up to MVP. I was there for Katie Taylor's win the other night. He's done fantastically for the women. Now, look, he's laced a pair of gloves on a few times. He's got a decent record at a level. AJ needs a fight. It's a mad fight. People are saying AJ destroys him like he did in Ngannou, but Jake Paul wants to take the challenge.
Shouldn't go more than a round.
And people will watch.
Of course, but
the younger generation.
But people watch, car crash TV. Shouldn't go more than a round. It'd be embarrassing for AJ if it goes more than a round, right?
Yes, probably, but I mean, who knows? It's mad. It's absolutely mad.
Smudge, that's all we've got time for. What are you doing now with the day? You going to do a bit of sunbathing, do a bit of shopping?
Sunbathing and shopping.
What are you
I'm
going to
do? Prepare for Moses Itauma against Dillian Whyte, for Nick Ball as well, and a big fight between Filip Hrgović and David Adelaide that's happening out there as well. Good, interesting heavyweight mix. Can't wait to get on that plane to Riyadh and see Ed Spencer and the Ball.
Nice.
Do you know what? I love Nick Ball. I know we didn't mention him enough.
Nick Ball, the only UK male world champion we've got. He's fantastic,
I love
isn't
him.
he? Isn't he great?
Yeah.
Great character.
Tiny.
Great character.
Yeah.
Always fun to watch. Really good fighter.
Well, you've been great coming in. Thanks for that. Are you going business class? How do they treat you?
I don't know.
Don't go. You do know.
I don't care.
First, not business first.
No, don't be ridiculous.
I think it's the same, isn't it, on Emirates?
No.
Is it?
Trust me, there's one further.
Mention my name, you get an upgrade. When we come back,
I'll do that.
you'll get downgraded, trust me. When we come back, we're talking about Usyk. Apparently, he's packed his literally packed his bags. Newcastle fans and football fans, what do you make about that? You'll be next, 03717 223344.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.